'cause I'm fine on my own.
You were passing by, surrounded by all those butterflies. Suddenly they flew right in my heart. Must have looked like a living piece of art. From that moment I knew that it would be you. Yeah, from that moment I knew it could only be you. I wrote your name up on my wall, circling an arrow heart. Somehow you made me feel whole. I wouldn't have to be alone. No, I would never be alone. No, I would never be alone. Circling an arrow heart. Somehow you made me feel whole. I wouldn't have to be alone. No, I would never be alone. No, I would never be alone.
About all the years I made up, and I think I'm running out of time. Don't want a day when I say goodbye now, 'cause you leave a shiver down my spine. Don't let me fall to the ground so heavily, 'cause I recall what you go through easily. Just let me know what we have.
Oh, I am so out of practice. Oh. Yikes. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I am all out of sorts right now. This is a hot mess. How's it going, everybody? Can you... I hate doing this. I hate doing this because I hate it when people do this, but can you hear me okay? Can y'all hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, it's been way too long since I've gone live, and I've been trying way too long. Here I am back at it with you. It looks like you can hear me. Thank you, David. Appreciate you, my friend. Totally hate that. But here's the thing. Everybody's getting all, ooh, my hair's like got that weird angle to it. So everybody's like updating software and apps and getting all fancy pants on me. And honestly, where I'm struggling because it's like so for example, the Beacon Mix Create, which is this device here, right? This guy, this right here. Those of you that have been around, you know that I use this. I've had plenty of issues with it, right? Well, they updated the software and now there's like automatic assignments and things. And I don't know what the heck any of it is. So like legit, hold on a second. I'll show you what I mean. I am going to be talking about this guy today. I just got this in the mail. Well, FedEx delivered it this morning. I had to sign for it. It was all crazy. So I did just get this. We are going to check this thing out today, which is, I was going to like, I don't know, do some fancy pants video. And I thought, I'm not doing a fancy pants video because it's just not going to get done. So I'm going to go live and hang out with y'all. And that's what we're going to do. So let me share this real quick. All right. So this is what I'm talking about when I say, like, all this down here. If you look at this, these assignments, that's all new. These default recording assignments, right? I know I'm always late. It is kind of late for me today, but hello. So these things are throwing me off. So anyway, I can't hear the music in my headset right now. And according to that, it's not playing. Hold on. It should be playing. So if I change... Yeah, I don't hear any music. I don't know what happened. The Chrome, something's up. Something's up. So something's changed. Yeah, look. Oh, see, it's doing weird stuff right there. Now I hear music. The question is, see, I don't hear it in my headset. So I should hear music in my headset right now. That tells me you all can hear music, I think. So I don't know. Oh my God, I've been gone for so long and I already have a freaking troll? Come on, you out. Okay, Pete from Oz. Okay, hello, hello, hello. Fantastic to see you, my friend. Out of the cave. Okay, I like it, I like it. Okay, so Australia is what you mean by Oz, right? That's what you mean. Okay, so y'all should hear music. And I can't hear music in my headset but I should, because I've got it routed right here. I'm supposed to be listening to my personal mix through my headset. But I have a feeling that this right here is what's got, I don't know. Reset automatically. See, this is where I get nervous. Anyway, my point is that they updated stuff. Now I don't know how to use anything anymore. And when you're not regularly live streaming like you're supposed to, like I always preach and have preached, you get rusty. And that's where we are. We are rusty right now, my friends. We are rusty. We got rustiness all over the place. I got all kinds of stuff going on. So anyway, that's that. Dr. Elo says, I am going to love the Facecam Pro. So Elgato came out with the Facecam a while back, but then they recently just released the Facecam Pro, which is their version of a 4K webcam that will also record, aka stream, in 60 frames per second. So there are some 4K webcams out there. The Logitech Brio is one of them that's very popular. I've had this thing forever. I don't think it looks great right now. Let's check it out. Oh, I gotta get out of... Sorry, hold on. Here's the Brio. Oh, that's Countdown Brio. We just want Brio. Brio, which needs configured, but I mean, it looks good. It needs it adjusted. I mean, it's a good camera. So like, you move around. Now, granted, one thing I will remind you all is that we're streaming with StreamYard, which is not going to stream out in 4K. So these 4K cameras, these 4K webcams are fantastic, but when you're using certain applications, they don't currently output in 4K. So that is one limitation if you're only going to be using, certain types of applications, this thing doesn't really matter to you, right? But if you want to record videos, or if you are using other applications, then you absolutely might want to consider using one of these 4K webcams. So I do have it hooked up on the computer already, so we're going to be checking that out. But I got to tell you, I got to get back to I am so rusty all over the place. At least my Stream Deck still works. I should probably turn that banner off that says starting shortly because we're here. We're here. We're live. So y'all, I changed the setup. So we've got new stuff. Not only do we have the Facecam Pro right here, the Elgato Facecam Pro right here, I did totally change the setup of everything. So we are still in the same little area of my downstairs, but I changed. I got busted out the old IKEA desktop. It's a little shaky, unfortunately, and I did keep part of one of my small cubicle things over here. I just have so much more room to spread out, and part of the reason for that was because I actually have a job where sometimes I need to be on my corporate computer, my corporate laptop. So I figured out how to set up basically two computers in one. So I've got my main computer that I love, that I use for everything else. And then I have my corporate computer that I set up when I work throughout the day. And so anyway, I just got tired of all the clutter. I think I've talked about this on the stream before, but I got really tired of all the clutter of the old setup. Plus, something you can't really see very well in this particular angle is my patio door is, okay, is this the Brio? Yeah. So my patio door, so like if I grab my webcam, I'll try not to be too shaky here for you, but I used to basically sit like this, and directly out that way, straight out the front of me is my patio door, but my desk had to kind of come out into my downstairs living room. And so as you can see, this is my downstairs living room, right? All this around me. There's the TV, but there's the patio door. And I kind of hated how the desk essentially it just came out into this space, and it just took up so much space, and I kind of hated it. I really kind of hated it. Hey, Mike, it's great to see you here hanging out with us. So I changed it. I was like, you know what? It's from a aesthetics of the stream. Is this the best look? Not necessarily. Meaning this look here. You can see a Peloton in the background. Yeah, it's kind of cool because it's got the light behind it. But you can see the doors and the stairs, and it's not ideal. Okay, it's really not ideal. And a lot of people will actually tell you shouldn't have doors in your background and this and that. But here's the deal. This thing has to double as a living space, a comfortable space, office space times 3, basically at this point, meaning corporate job, recording studio, and also an entrepreneur office. And so I just kind of decided, you know what, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. And so I made the sacrifice. And so that's what we've got right now. So I also have a new monitor. This is a huge monitor. It's humongous. It's too big in my opinion, honestly. It is a 4K monitor, 144 hertz, super expensive. It's one of the newer things I've purchased. It's very expensive, but I also am needing to record some stuff in some different resolutions, and I want to be able to watch it and see it. Plus, it's just kind of one of those things where I was ready for a fancy monitor. So that's that. Got that. I have tried to go back to the old Shure MV7. And I even got that Vocaster from Focusrite. I tried it. I just, you know what? I got to tell you, there is beauty and simplicity when it comes to some of this stuff. And so I have been tinkering way too much and not creating enough content. I have definitely fallen into that trap of tinkering way too much and not creating content. And this is something that that's a trap we can all fall into. It's a trap we can easily fall into. By the way, can y'all tell me if you can hear music? I feel like you might be able to hear music, and I need to know, because I can't hear the music. Because again, I've been tinkering too much, and I've not been streaming enough, and therefore, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now, basically, is how I feel. Rusty. We're rusty. So, Sammy Superstar's here. I love seeing my old friends coming and hanging out with me. It's really good to see you. It definitely makes me feel good. The Dr. Vibe Show, great to see you here as well. And then CK in the house. It's great to hear you. It's great to see you, CK. And yes, you can hear the music. I'm guessing the music might be too loud based on what I see here. Anyway, it's supposed to be background music. Let me turn it down just a little bit. I can't hear it for whatever reason, even though I've got that set to where I should be able to hear it. Not sure what's going on there. It's kind of weird. Anyway, again, the Beacon Mix Create's not perfect. It is what it is. But definitely super rusty in regards to all this stuff. But anyway, I've gone back to the Elgato Wave 3. I'm just sticking with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking with it. And it sounds great, usually. And I'm going back to this simplistic model. So if you look here, this microphone is nice and small. It's very small. It doesn't even require any kind of like pop filter because it's got a great one built in. And I have it on the Elgato, the low profile arm. And I can, when I'm working, which is most of the time I'm not needing a microphone except for when I'm on meetings, is I can just swing this thing out of the way. Just like that. I can just swing it out of the way and it's not a problem anymore. So same thing, you can move something up and out of the way when you have one of those arms. But the Shure MV7, which sounds amazing, makes my voice sound like butter, unfortunately requires the interface, the XLR cables, a different arm. And I just got to a point I was like, you know what? It's just too much crap. Just too much stuff. I do have the headphones plugged in. Yes, because I can hear myself talking. Oh, wait, hold on. Nope, that's not it either. It has to do with the Beacon Mix Create, Pete. That's exactly what it is. So it has to do with the Beacon Mix Create. I think something is messed up over here. I've got to get something. I gotta, again, I have been tinkering too much and not doing enough. And therefore I'm rusty. It's just all about being rusty. And when these applications get updated and whatnot, then you get out of practice. But see, I thought you guys could hear music, and here's how, right here. I can see that you can hear music because this is what you hear right here. Boom. And I can control the music audio level right here. But I can't hear. I should be able to hear it, but I cannot hear it. Oh, I got it. So okay, that's exactly what it was. That had now I hear it. So I definitely, again, another flaw in the Beacon, in my opinion. So I was just telling you guys that I've gone back and forth with the mics. Well, when I disabled the Elgato Wave 3, which is the mic I'm using now, when I disabled that mic and then I decided to go back to it, Beacon had me add it again, and now there's like 2 and 3. The headphones were the other one, but I hear it now. Man, it feels so much better. Whew, and now I can hear what you hear. Okay, so Rob says, what earpieces, headphones are you using? These are those Me whatevers. Me Audio. If you literally go to Amazon and you search clear headphones, clear over the ear headphones, these will show up. They're like $20. They aren't the greatest things in the world, meaning they don't sound amazing. They're great, but they're nice and clear. So that's why everybody likes them. Definitely one of the things people like about it. So, okay. One of the things you guys are here for and to hang out with and to see is this, right? We want to see how this thing's going to look. So again, here's the deal. I'm not much of a live unboxer. It's really not my thing. I mean, I've done it. I don't love it. I've done it before. Again, it's not really my thing. But it comes with software. So I already have the software installed. I have not configured it to OBS. So again, as I mentioned, I am absolutely using OBS. Well, I'm using StreamYard to stream. So that's how we're outputting. That's how I see your comments, and I'm displaying comments and sharing my screen. I see your question, Mike. I will get to that. Absolutely. But I use OBS so that I can do a few extra things that are very custom, and I turn on the virtual camera. So I have not added the Elgato Facecam Pro to the OBS just yet, and that's what I'm going to do. I thought about just adding it to StreamYard and then toggling the webcam, but then I thought, well, I'm going to end up adding it to OBS anyway, so why don't I just do that? So that's what we're going to do. So I'll let you guys see how we do that. Here's the other thing that happened today. I got on to go live, and I opened up OBS, and everything was completely out of whack. Like everything was so screwed up, and I know why. It's because I changed my canvas to 4K. Because, you know, recording videos, and I use OBS to record videos, I want to record in 4K. But streaming, I don't want to stream in 4K. Anyway, everything was so messed up, but I was actually, that's why I was super late. So I was way late, as usual. I feel like I'm late to everything, but you guys deal with it, right? So I had to redo all these things. So anyway, I'm gonna add a scene, and we'll get the Elgato Facecam Pro, which is right here, sitting right there. We will get that added, and we'll take a look at it compared to the Brio, which would be what I would call its comparison model. Kind of, but not really. So anyway, I will also tell you something interesting. So there's another webcam out there on the market that's in beta, and it's called the Opal. It is for Mac only right now. I ordered that thing I ordered it thinking that it was, I didn't realize it was Mac only. I just got excited when I saw some YouTube videos on it. I was like, oh my gosh, that thing is badass. I want it now. I want it now. Give it to me. I ordered it. And then I immediately found out from my friend James Hicks. I was texting him. He's like, dude, that's a Mac product. I was like, oh crap. So I immediately contacted support. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't have a Mac. They said, no problem. So they refunded my money. 6 days later, guess what shows up in the mailbox? The Opal camera. They said, keep it. Doesn't matter. So my, there you go. See, my significant other, Doug, who was hanging out, I was like, he has a MacBook, like a Mac computer for work. And so I was like, hey, you should use this. And so he's been using it. And the other day I looked at it, I was like, that thing is awesome. That thing is crazy good. It looks like a DSLR camera with a blurry background, but it's like a $300 camera. So anyway, if you're a Mac user, you need to go figure out how to get your hands on that thing. It's expensive, but it's crazy good. And I will tell you, I've not seen anything better than it. Now I hear there's one that's out there. Shoot, somebody's gonna drop it in the comments. It starts with an L, I think. There's another one out there that's a competitor to it. But yeah, Doug says it does. It looks great. So the Insta360 is another new one out there that's getting a lot of rave reviews right now. It's kind of like the OBS bot that many of you have seen that I've used in the past that follows you around. It's on a gimbal and it will follow you around. So that actually is at my desk over at Doug's, which is 100 yards that way. As many of you know, we live in condos 100 yards apart. And so I work over there sometimes. I work here sometimes. Anyway, that webcam's over there. So I actually got this webcam that we're going to set up here in a second. I promise I'll stop rambling and we'll actually set it up and check it out. I don't know how it compares to the Insta360. Sammy also likes the Insta360. It's getting a lot of rave reviews out there. I've seen it. I don't find it to be anything crazy exceptional, but I mean, it's pretty good. So anyway, okay. I'm going to answer Mike's question real quick, and then we're going to set this bad boy up. So why run the Beacon software instead of the Wave link for the Wave 3? So yes, so Mike is pointing out that, Mike from Never Let the Machine Win, is pointing out Never Let the Machines Win. He's pointing out like, hey, you have this Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which comes with free software. It comes with free virtual audio mixing software, which would also allow me to play music, stream music to you, let you hear music while I'm talking. I can mute the music, whatever. But you know what it doesn't come with? You know what it doesn't come with? It doesn't come with it yet. It does. There's a product that they just released, the Stream Deck Plus, does now have hardware knobs. It has hardware knobs for that wavelength. The Beacon it comes with this piece of hardware where I can control everything. I can mute the music. I can turn the music up, which I freaking love. I love using this little thing. So to answer your question, Mike, I like the Beacon software and I also like the Beacon hardware, except for the bugs that are included with the current version of this. They have done a really nice job of working most of them out. It is still a beta product, but it might be a game changer now that Stream Deck Plus just came out and does have those knobs that I could essentially configure and do the same thing. Because the Wavelink application does come with this. I will tell anybody today, if you're out there on the market and you want to get a mic that is, quite frankly, a badass microphone and doesn't cost a lot of money, the Elgato Wave microphones are so awesome. They are so awesome for less than $200. You know, I don't even know what they run anymore. They've come down in price, like $150 or something. You get an amazing microphone. It's basically a Lewitt microphone inside of a plastic casing. It comes with this amazing software that's going to allow you to do so many other things like route music and all the other stuff. And it's all for that same price. And they are continuing to upgrade the product, the software, the hardware, all of it. So that's the microphone that I always tell everybody. If you are on a bit of a budget, get that microphone. Especially if you like simplicity, and it's USB. You plug it in and it's ready to go. I mean, it's ready to go. You don't need an interface. You don't need XLR cables. You don't need blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. Sounds great. So anyway, there you go. That's my opinion. Sammy says you're going to make me spend more money. Oh, Sammy, come on. We know you love gear just like I do, right? Okay, let's see. Doug says, if there's such a thing for home shopping network for techies, you should host it. There is such a thing. It's called Amazon Live. I'm not approved for it yet. But anyway, so Dr. Elo says, I use the Wave 1 as my travel mic. Yeah, the Wave 1, the Wave 3, they're super similar. There's minor differences between them. But yeah, Mike, I'm definitely going to get that Stream Deck Plus. It's on my list. Okay, let's check this mic. Let's check out this Elgato Facecam. So I'm going to share my screen because sometimes people come and hang out and they watch and they're like, how are you doing that? So, whoops, share my screen. So I am going to add this to the broadcast. Again, I'm using StreamYard to do that. So this is OBS. So I'm going to add a scene. And we're going to call this Elgato Facecam. And then, whoops. So yeah, there I went. And then I'm going to add a video. Oh my God, it's been forever. Video capture device. And OBS recently changed as well. And we're going to call this the Facecam. And I'm going to just put it in there just like that. So now I need to go find the Facecam. It's going to pull up all my options for whatever's plugged into my computer or whatever back-end apps like that I have. So there it is right here. There's the Facecam Pro. So I'm going to add it, and there it is. Now we can also configure the video, but I'm going to start with it in its natural state. So this is just its natural state. Now, well, I say natural state. However, something to point out. Now let's look at it. Something to point out about this webcam is that right now it's in its natural state, but it's really not because there is software that comes with this camera. So we're going to actually pop that up next. So right now you are looking at the Elgato Facecam Pro. Let me go ahead and just jump a banner up there and put it up so y'all can see that. So this is the Elgato Facecam Pro. Now what I'm going to do is, I hope it lets me do it. Elgato. I'm going to open up the Camera Hub software. And we're going to take a look at that. And video preview occupied. So I'm going to just see. All right. So this is the application. I'll make it big for a sec so you can see it. So as you can see, I'm actually zoomed in. So that's why I'm so close. So if you watch me, let's go. See, I'm just going to, okay, let's just go through this. So you have your device, your frame. So it's giving you, we're zoomed in right now. You can create presets. So you can save your presets. So if you want to be zoomed in and you want to save it, you can save it. You can make that A, for example. Oh, it zoomed me out automatically. So you can see now I'm actually zoomed out. It zoomed me out. So let's zoom in. And preset A, when I clicked on that, it didn't seem to want to, I don't know what's going on. Oh, these are just automatic presets. Whatever. Okay. Maybe you can't customize those yet. I don't know. So anyway, let me get this angle better. Okay. Whoa, look at all that craziness back there. It's not loving my lights, that's for sure. But look how clear it is. I mean, what a clear picture. You know what I mean? So yeah, so Dr. Elo is really loving the Facecam Pro. What's up, Johnny Bean? Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Great to see you live today. Okay, so let me go back to sharing my screen. All right, so you can do all kinds of stuff that I have not yet played around with or explored. But we can change a lot of things, including contrast, saturation, exposure. I mean, let's take the automatic off. And let's go here so we can see. So, I mean, wowzers, shutter speed, ISO. So it's like giving us these settings that are very much like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. So if we change the ISO, if I go up on this ISO, it should make me brighter. And if I go down, it should help, I was gonna say my backlight, my colors back there. But as you can see, I would need more light on my face. So the thing with webcams is this. I will definitely point this out. Webcams 100% require good lighting. I mean, you can buy a really expensive, okay, thanks Dr. Elo. You can buy a really expensive webcam and it's not gonna be for shit if you don't have good lighting. It's just reality. It is what it is. And so, you know, I've got, my lights need to be configured. I need to improve my lights, but if you don't have good lighting, you're not going to have it's going to have to compensate for low light. And that's why a lot of webcams suck because they have to compensate and they get digitized and they look bad. These newer webcams are getting better about it. But again, these settings that you have here, shutter speed, all that stuff, all of that is really interesting because again, those are settings that are similar to a mirrorless or DSLR camera. I'm not sure if this thing really has ISO. I don't know. I don't know enough of the tech. I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't really truly know the guts of everything, right? But I just know that those settings are similar. So I don't know if they're just doing that so that you know how to adjust it, because I think they are marketing this camera for people like myself, like a Dr. Elo, like, you know, a Sammy Superstar and others, Doug from SmackDown Outdoors. When we have these setups, well, then we have to go on the go. This thing just plugs in USB-C, you're done. Plug it in and it's ready to start being used. That is actually why I bought the camera, because I do travel and I do need to be able to create, I want to create relatively high quality streams, and I don't want to use a Logitech 920 and I don't want to use a Logitech Brio. I want to use something nice. So I've been looking for a high-end webcam that's simplistic, and that's the whole point. So I think that the reason why they're doing this in these settings is because they're marketing to people like us who want another option when we're on the go or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe they're just trying to be fancy. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's that. White balance also can go from auto to not auto. So if we turn that off, it's going to make me a bit red because that's the kelvins we're going to adjust. So if we go up on if we go down, so the higher the kelvins, the more warm you're going to be. So if you go down in the kelvins, it's going to make me a little bit blue, right? That doesn't look good either. Auto is usually a good place to start. Take note of where you are. Some people say never use auto white balance. No thanks, I don't care. But that's that. Then you have your options for your anti-flicker. Now there's some effects in here, which I have not. That's just AI background stuff. So that's going to just be like an automatic background. It's going to do all the other things. So Dr. Elo said long press to save your settings in your presets. So if and he is right. So this is definitely interesting. I mean, I am very pleased with this camera. I really think that, if we are to compare this camera, now again, I'm not really doing anything with the actual coloring or anything like that. I haven't really done much at all. I don't love the way that all of that looks, but that's because of the lighting I'm using. That lighting is going to cause problems with almost any type of webcam, no matter what. So you really shouldn't use, oh, look, there's all the junk I have back there. Addie's got some presents got dropped off to her. If you are going to use a webcam, then you probably can't use a lot of these effects, right? You're going to want to go with more just simple, standard stuff. Or video lights as well. Another shout out to the 360, the Insta360 from David. People are loving that thing. That thing is like all over YouTube right now. People are loving it. I think they literally just gave a bunch of them away. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looks like in comparison to the Brio. So this is the Brio. So that's the Brio. Let's get these things adjusted so they're correct. They're almost identical in regards to the angle that I've got. Now with the Brio, I have done some like adjustments in OBS. So coloring's a little off compared to the Elgato. Whoops. Oh, get me in focus, Mr. Facecam. Oh boy, what happened? That's weird. Did I turn that off? It's got an autofocus feature. Focus. Center weighted. Yes. Wow. Hi. Get me back in focus. Yeah, the Brio had its time. That's hilarious. It is old tech. You know that Logitech Brio has been around for like, I mean, I bought mine 5 years ago. I mean, 6 years ago. I probably bought that thing 7 years ago. That thing is a dinosaur. I can't believe they still sell them. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. So our focus, let me go back to, okay, so I turned the autofocus off and then I turned it back on and it basically reset. So I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, let's turn that auto back on. Very interesting. So that's kind of something funky. But anyway, so there you go. There's the Elgato Facecam and then that's the Brio. And let's go back to the Facecam. So back to the Facecam. Now, if we go into OBS, if you want to get all crazy, then you can definitely make adjustments to it. So if I go in here and I right click, I think, no, just double click. There we go. And I go to configure video. Of course, it opens it on the other screen. You get these generic, I'm on a Windows machine. You get these these generic deals where you can adjust stuff. Contrast. So, oops, lost it. Configure video. Great, it went in the back, I think. Yep. Let me move that again. Jeez. Layers upon layers. Let's move this back. Okay, so we can see what we're doing. So like, for example, I can actually adjust the contrast right here if I want to. So if I want more contrast, which you could use a little bit more contrast, I can bump that up right there. So right inside OBS, I can do all that. I can actually make these adjustments if I wanted to, right inside OBS. Same with the Brio. I haven't really done much with the Brio. So again, I was kind of trying to compare these like right out of the gate. So yeah, Dr. Elo says, I have an internal fight with myself because I love the Insta360 and the Facecam Pro for travel. The Insta's so small. It is, I know. So I'm going to pull up, although I do like the Facecam color better than the Brio, but that's just me. Oh yeah. Oh, I think the Facecam, I do think the Facecam is like totally killing the Brio. I think it's like, it's a Brio killer. I mean, I think it's a Brio killer. I don't even know why you would spend $200 on a webcam. Actually, I think they've come down. I think they're like $150 now. Maybe not. I mean, I don't even know why you would. Although I will tell you guys, this webcam is not cheap. It's like $300. You know what I think you should do if you're truly thinking about spending $300 on a camera and you don't have a nice camera yet and you're still using something old school like a Logitech 920 or something else, I actually personally think that you should save your $300 and I think you should invest it in a Sony ZV E-10. That's what I absolutely think you should do. I think you should go get a Sony ZV E-10 and you should save the $300. If you already have a nice camera and you, again, are wanting a backup camera or a second camera, but you don't want to use a big fancy mirrorless or whatever, then you might want to look at one of these things. I'm going to tell you, I'm struggling a little bit with the price point on just a webcam. You can't do much with it. You can't change the lenses on it. You can't really upgrade it. Hopefully the software continues to offer more. I think it will. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you right now that if you're a Mac user, that Opal camera that I mentioned earlier that I basically accidentally got for free that my significant other is using is crazy good. Like, it's so good. I haven't been able to use it in low light, but if you're in some good bright light, some good daylight, like he is, it literally looks like my A10. It looks like this. I'm not even kidding. It looks like this. Now, granted, he didn't have colors and all the other stuff in the background. Yeah, Sony ZV1. So the Sony ZV1s are cool. My only thing about that, Dr. Elo, is they don't have the ZV1 and the ZV1F. They don't have interchangeable lenses. You are limited. They are great, but you are limited with what they can do. That's kind of my only beef with that. It's like, if you're gonna spend $500, can you go up? Can you go up just a little bit more and go with the Sony ZV E-10 for a few $100 more? That's what I think. Opal. So Pete was asking me, if you're a Mac user, it's the Opal. Yes, the Opal C1 webcam. That is actually it. The Opal C1 webcam. Thank you, Dr. Elo. It's pretty awesome. And I did email them, and they said that PCs is in the 2023 roadmap. So that Opal webcam, it's currently beta. You have to basically go on their website, sign up to even get approved to buy it, and then they'll say, yes, you can buy it, and then you buy it. And I will tell you that it's so good. I was shocked. I did plug it into my PC just to see. It didn't really work right. So, but they did say 2023 it's on the roadmap. So anyway, the ZV1 is a cheaper option without the interchangeable lenses. That's the thing. I mean, they just don't have they're good cameras. My girl Crystal Profit, that's what she uses. She uses a ZV1. And I love her stuff. She makes great stuff and it looks great. And a used 5100, definitely agree. DeWitt 3D Canada. Is it DWIT or DeWitt? What am I supposed to say? Yeah, even if you find a used A5100 or even an A5500 out there, which is a Sony camera, you get the capture card and you've got a really nice camera. I've seen those go as low as like $350. But you got to be careful with used cameras. Sometimes you can run into a problem, right? Let's see. Dr. Elo says, I use a $50 Ulanzi lens to adjust the ZV1 to almost 60 millimeter. Oh, cool. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that you could even really do that. So I like it. Tim, there we go. I will have to try to remember that. Tim. Okay. I'll try to remember that. I do like to remember everybody's names. I do. Everybody that's been around for a while knows that. So yeah, I should probably take that banner off because that is not what we have, right? So I wanted to, I just kind of wanted to come on here, check that camera out, give it a try, see how it looked. It's pretty good. I don't think it's a bad camera. Let's go back to it. If you look at it, when it's going to be different on your end because we're not streaming 60 frames per second. We're streaming 1080, 30 frames per second. I definitely think you're going to get... Oh my God, another one. Hold on. I go away for 80,000 months. I come back and the trolls show up to hang out with us. It's all right. So I think for sure that this camera's great. I think that if you want a USB cam and you just want to go with basics and keep it simple, I think it's a great camera. It is a bit chunky. Let's go back and I'll show you. It is a bit chunky. Look at this thing. I mean, it's pretty big. So it's definitely the biggest webcam I've ever owned. I mean, look at this thing. It's the size of my hand almost. So it does come with you can mount it to a tripod or you can screw this thing on there and mount it to your monitor like most webcams. So that's kind of nice. I think that this camera could be a really great option for your top-down cameras as well. But the Facecam, the regular Facecam, not the Facecam Pro, is what a lot of people use for that too. I mean, I think Gloria still uses her Facecam, just her regular Facecam as her top-down camera. But I'll tell you that it's definitely one of those things where it's all going to come down to your lighting. So much of this comes down to your lighting. So you guys were all going crazy over the Insta360. And I will tell you, I feel like every time I open up my YouTube, that camera is somewhere in my videos, showing up in my videos. By the way, did you guys like my thumbnail that I used? I was sitting there for 10, 20 minutes trying to come up with this thumbnail. And I was like, screw it. I just want to go live today and show off this, check this camera out. I'm not going to mess with the perfect thumbnail, which is I tend to do. Thumbnails are really important though. They really are really important. I just need to, sometimes I got to be lazy. And I know I'm sacrificing all kinds of things by being lazy, but so I was going to look for this, of course, today. There's not going to be a million of these right now, but Tom Buck did a really good video on the Insta 360. Would I replace it with my Sony? Would you replace it with your Sony, the Facecam? No. I would never, ever. I mean, here's the thing. This thing right here, when you add the capture card, the cables, the battery, it's like a $1,200 setup with the Sigma lens, the Sony ZV E-10, the cables, the dummy battery, and, well, the capture device. I mean, it's expensive. So it's not really apples to apples comparison. But would I replace it? No. But I like it. I like the camera. I just don't think that it's not going to replace my Sony ZV-10 or my Sony a6100, which is this one right here. But it absolutely is a great option for a to-go camera, which is what I'm going to be using it for. So, so Tim has the a5100 as his main. The OBS bot is his overhead. Oh, I've never thought about using that as the overhead. And then the Insta360 link is his floater. Okay, so here is Tom's. All right. Let me pause the music. I'm pretty sure Tom's not going to care that I'm sharing his channel, right? He's not going to care. I hope not. I don't typically do this. Risking my life right now. Okay. So there's the 360. There you go. So it follows you around. There. Let me see. So there you go. So that's a pretty good camera, but I will say the same thing. He's in oh, you couldn't hear him. That's okay. He's in a nice studio with great lights, bright lights. He's got good lighting. But I mean, I just think that it's good for certain setups. That's what I'm going to say. Because I have seen the Insta360. I don't think it's that different than what I just showed you, the Facecam Pro. I personally just don't think it's that different. I've watched some videos and I'm like, they seem pretty comparable. It'll be really interesting to see what all comes out. Now, it's dark. It's now dark outside here in Indiana. So it's darker down here. I do have the lights that I mentioned earlier. You know, I've got a, well, you can't see it, I guess. And I'm not going to move that camera. But right in front of me, I have an Elgato Keylight Air. No, an Elgato. What is it called? I don't know. It's not the Keylight. It's the small one. I've got that there. I've got another one here. This one's facing upward, so it's softer light. This one's on me. I honestly kind of hate the lighting. I need to work on my lighting big time. I've always hated my lighting. I need to adjust it. My Kelvins are at, what are my Kelvins set at on this thing? I don't even know. I gotta get this dialed in. All right, I got to get it dialed in. Now, I will say this. Well, something else I've done. I've got this other light back here. I kind of like that look. I like that look when people have like a regular light in the background. That's kind of what I'm doing here. That is just a regular lamp. And I have one of the spotlights shining up on the wall behind the Peloton that doesn't get used. Oops. Just to give all the colors. I have another light that is actually... It's around the corner here, shining this way, which is what is creating the pink light kind of behind you here. I really love that look, but I got to get all this right here dialed in. It's just really not where I want it to be. But I also I got one of these lights. I actually have a second one in a box. I'll show it to you in a sec. That came from IKEA. And it has 3 settings. Here's the thing. I think this is kind of genius, what they're trying to do. It's a desk lamp, but then I can turn it. And it's then a ring light. What? And it has 3 settings. Now, I will tell you, it gets really warm. I don't think I would ever use these warmth Ooh, I mean, look how warm that is. And then off. I mean, so if you look, I love how it looks in the background, by the way. It also gives me some nice light to work with. But then, let's see. Okay, look at me now. Look at me now. It does add light to me. It's not the right color, but I also, again, I can adjust the kelvins and all that stuff on my camera to make that work. But that's cool. Like, that's cool if you are literally one of those people that's like, I'm working at a desk and I need a desk lamp, but I also need light for my face. I think this is genius what IKEA has done. They've created this little ring light but also a desk lamp. I freaking love it. Anyway, so like, I got another one. There you go. IKEA for the win. $50 at IKEA. $50 at IKEA, that thing right there. So I'm actually digging that. I love that. That's something else. Just, again, trying to make my office not so cluttery with all the stuff and the gear and the things and whatevers. And I do miss my lava lamp. The lava lamps are definitely going to come back. But it's just one of those things where I just needed some cleanliness, which is why I needed some desk space. I need to be able to scooch over here and work. And that's why I changed everything back to changing it all over. So I know, I love that thing. I mean, I thought that, again, it looks like a nice desk lamp, but then you can just flip it and it becomes a ring light to light up your face. So the KMH family, she changed, was it Hannah Day? Is that what you were before? I forget. The KMH family. I think, anyway, definitely. Yeah, Hannah Day. There it is. It says it right there. I wasn't reading it all the way. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yes, I'm live. I'm hanging out. Have not been live in forever. But one of those things. David, you said, does the Facecam Pro have a follow me feature? As of right now, I do not think it does. I mean, it doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It is definitely not on a gimbal. I know that for sure. So, could it eventually one day be gimbal friendly? Maybe. But right now it does not. Now it may have it does have a pan and zoom feature inside the software, which all it's going to do is it's going to zoom you in and then it's going to move around, but it's really just a digital pan. It's a digital pan, not a real pan, but that's a good question. Okay. Pete says, in that shot, now look at the lens diameter. That's why you need a heap of light for webcams. Yes. So that sensor, the larger sensor, great, is better for low light. I do know that. Tim says, audio video seems to never be just right, and I'm always tweaking. LOL. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. If you're gonna keep changing things like I do, then you are absolutely gonna be stuck tweaking, meaning like getting things back in order, getting things back on track, like I have been. And that's why everything's so rusty. I got to get back into the groove, which is why I just was like, I'm just going to go live today and I'm going to go through this camera. I'm going to check it out, see how it is, see who shows up, chat with y'all. And it was fun. It was super fun. But I have to get going because Doug over there is waiting on me because we are going to have some dinner and do all that thing. So, and it's time to be done with work. I super duper appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. I cannot wait to get back to a bit of a more regular schedule. I will probably not be able to be consistent like I used to be, which is totally what is the best, by the way. Consistency is key. Go live the same day, the same time every week if you can. Right now in the season of my life, I really can't. So again, I'm working this corporate job. I've took on a job. I took on a full-time role to help out an old boss. I love working with this company. I kind of missed working in a corporate environment. Ooh, there's a lot I don't miss though. Oh my gosh. Oh, so much I don't miss. But it's really good for me and my family right now. It's really great for me, but I am traveling a lot and it does take away that flexibility I used to have where I could control my schedule 100%. So the consistency is not really a part of my seasonal life right now, which means you're going to start to see some more pre-recorded videos from me because I do need to get back to creating content. But you might see some more pop-up streams from me like today's where I was like, I'm going live in like 15 minutes because I do need to just get out of my own head, get out of my own way. As I have shared with all of you so many times that don't get off the wagon because it's really hard to jump back on. Get off the wagon. I don't like that. I feel like that has a negative connotation. Like, don't, just keep going. Just keep going is all I can say, because it is so hard to get your momentum back when you do take a break. And it is hard because you do get in your head too. You're like, oh, how do I come back? How do I get this going? And that's been a struggle for me for sure. So it's definitely a real thing. I appreciate all of y'all supporting me, hanging out with me. I see all your comments. I see all your support. You guys are the best. I don't even really have, do I have a closeout scene? Do I have a closeout? I'll just use one of the old ones. I'm going to use an old one that's built into my StreamYard studio. By the way, I am going to say to you guys, I've put the link in the description. StreamYard just came out with some awesome, crazy features. Really, really cool stuff. All these streaming applications are just coming so far. They're doing such a great job creating more and more features for us. And StreamYard just continues to be my favorite app. It makes it so easy. So like right now, I'm like, oh, I need a closeout scene. I already have one. It's already in my studio. But I am going to be cleaning up my studio, getting it updated so we can have some fun stuff. But I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all. Have a great night. Thanks again for being here. Super duper appreciate all y'all.